Welcome to Indian Talks. Another day, another story. Oppenheimer. The story of American scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer and his role in the development of the atomic bomb. The epic new movie directed by Christopher Nolan takes audiences into the mind and moral decisions of J. Robert Oppenheimer, leader of the team of brilliant scientists in Los Alamos, New Mexico, who built the world's first atomic bomb. It's not a documentary, but it gets the big historical moments and subjects right. The issues that Nolan depicts are not relics of a distant past. The new world that Oppenheimer helped to create, and the nuclear nightmare he feared, still exists today. Russian President Vladimir Putin is threatening to use nuclear weapons in his war in Ukraine. Iran is doing everything it can to develop nuclear weapons. China is expanding its nuclear arsenal. Hostile governments like China are stealing US defense technologies, including from Los Alamos. Charges that Oppenheimer was a Soviet spy and a security risk, a major focus of the movie, have been disproved. In December 2022, the Biden administration posthumously voided the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission's 1954 decision to revoke Oppenheimer's security clearance, calling that process biased and unfair. Declassified records reveal that Soviet spying on the US atomic bomb effort advanced Moscow's bomb program, but Oppenheimer was no spy. Oppenheimer's perspective. Oppenheimer joined the Manhattan Project, a nationwide effort to build an atomic bomb before the Nazis developed one, in 1942. The scientists he led at the Los Alamos site were probably the most talented group of minds ever assembled in a single laboratory, including 12 eventual Nobel laureates. In 1954, at the height of the McCarthy era, Oppenheimer was accused of being a communist and even a Soviet spy. What's the truth? We know that in the 1930s, and until 1943, Oppenheimer was a communist sympathizer. His brother Frank and his girlfriend Jean Tatlock belonged to the Communist Party of the United States, and Oppenheimer's wife Catherine was a former member. For Oppie, as his students called him, Marxism was intellectually interesting, but it was also practical. Oppenheimer saw communism as the best defense against the rise of fascism in Europe, which, being of Jewish heritage, was personal for him. By 1943, however, Oppenheimer's support for Communist Party causes shifted, evidently, as he realized the enormity of his mission to produce an atomic bomb. That year, Oppenheimer helped U.S. Army security officers identify scientists he believed were communists. If Nolan's film inspires audiences to read the deeply researched biography of Oppenheimer by Kai Bird and Martin Sherwin, which inspired Nolan to make this movie, or other accounts of the Manhattan Project or the Cold War, they will find that the underlying tissues of science and espionage remain alive. Today, the world stands at the edge of technological revolutions that will transform societies in the 21st century, much as nuclear weapons did in the 20th century, artificial intelligence, quantum computing and biological engineering. Watching Oppenheimer makes me wonder whether hostile foreign governments may already have stolen keys to unlocking these new technologies, in the same way the Soviets did with the atom bomb. Watch in theaters. Subscribe and like.